So I'm making this video to talk about you know the chicken dance, which is the dance that you normally see at powwows. And what is the chicken dance? Well, I want you guys to listen to this guy very fast, and he'll tell you the conventional idea of what the dance is all about. And just in case nobody knows what the chicken dance is, so Saturday Night Live Men's Chicken Dance Special Part 1.
King C. Gillette is an award-winning lineup. Men's Health's best beard trimmer for beginners, among men's...
To 2 songs, right, Bonnie? And then the judge...
So yeah, that's the chicken dance. And
I think a big question that a lot of people are going to have.
so this right here is the conventional belief, what the chicken dance is all about.
Is why do you dance like a chicken? Why is what's the meaning behind that?
The story I was told was that a young man, he came across this prairie chicken. So he took that prairie chicken's life, but when he killed that prairie chicken came back in the spirit world, and he said, why would you kill me? Because I had to feed my family. I had to provide for my family. They're hungry. And he says, okay, I understand. I respect that. But with you taking my life, I want to give you something. And what he gave us was that morning dance, that stomp dance. He said, I want you to dance with me in spirit and keep my spirit alive. And that's where that chicken dance was created. So it's a good way of life. It's a good teaching, old ways, but enjoy it, brother.
I appreciate it, man.
Of course.
Yeah. Chicken dances.
So yeah, so that's the conventional belief when it comes to the chicken dance. But I believe it goes much deeper than that. I believe that so the chicken is one of the Illuminati's favorite, that's what they call little boys, for these reptilian pizza gators, chicken is code for little boy. The chicken corresponds with it corresponds with the number 10. In the Chinese zodiac, the 10th animal on their zodiac is the chicken, and it's also called the chicken, the rooster, or the phoenix. It has 3 names, but I prefer rooster, only because that's according to Chinese astrologers, if you're a rooster, then your mission in life is to ascend to a higher level of being. And once you do, you become the phoenix. You get you become a being of light. You leave this matrix, and and through that is rebirth. You become a new person. A better person. So number 10 in Chinese astrology is represents the phoenix. Number 1, represents the rat. The rat is the first animal within the Chinese zodiac. And since we live under a rat system, we live within a matrix, Plato's cave. It's the rat that's always in the lead out of every other animal. So the rat knows the truth. The rat symbolizes, it ties into number 1. Number 1 is the sun's number at its lowest point. 10 is the sun's number at its highest point, which represents the rooster. Another name for rooster is cock, tying into the masculine, the light energy, the male, the yang. And so and since this animal has the strongest ties to light, it knows. It knows. It's able to see a way out of this labyrinth, out of this matrix, and out of Plato's cave, because it's a light-based animal, and it knows the rat's game. It knows the system is rigged for the rat. This is a rat's race, not anyone else's. So so the rat knows the truth at its lowest point, but it's the rooster that knows it at its highest. And because of this, the rat and the rooster are arch enemies. These two animals do not get along whatsoever, and I find it kind of interesting too because when Jeffrey Dahmer, somebody who was born in the year of the rat, when he was killed by Christopher Scarver, I almost think it was their Bazai, placements, the Chinese four pillars of the soul, the Chinese, their Bazai charts, played a role in this because Christopher Scarver is born in the year of the chicken, the rooster. So I think these two individuals had it out, for each other in the moment they met. So anyways, though, man, that's beyond the point. So they do the chicken dance because it symbolizes the sacrifice of the chicken. I don't think the Native Americans, are too aware on the deeper meaning to the story itself. I mean, maybe some of the tribal leaders are, but then again, these tribes. I know my father's tribe, the Lakota, the Gualasu here in South Dakota, they know a lot, man. They know about skinwalkers. They know about, they know about the star people, these aliens, the alien hive mind that controls the planet. They know about that shit. They just never talk about it. It's forbidden to talk about anything like that in Lakota culture. I mean, it's they're very secretive people, but yeah. So what I think these dances are all about is society, humanity as a whole. We fear the light. We fear higher truths. Truth is not a virtue on this planet. It's hated, and those who speak it, are feared, and people, usually tend to kill these people, man. So the sacrifice of the chicken, they do the chicken dance, and to me it just feels like it's been ingrained. This dance has been ingrained within their societies by the reptilians themselves as kind of like a means to trick these people into targeting the truthers, because that's the first, the chicken ties into the brightest souls, and it's and again, if you have somebody in any society around the world that is a truther that speaks beyond the matrix, these people are usually sacrificed, quote unquote sacrificed, for the sake of that society's comfort zone, for the sake of them not being forced to acknowledge the very ugly truth about reality, that that they're controlled by reptilians, that the human species itself was created just as a means to be an exploit, for our alien for the aliens that created us, and so and the Lakota, the word for these aliens, they call them the Star People, and another word for the Star People is Tukonshla, and Tukonshla represents the alien, is the alien hive mind, and the alien hive mind represents the false light within Plato's cave that helps cast the shadow show on the cave's wall. It represents the false patriarchy. A lot of people think we live under, and I've touched on this more than a few times on my other videos, but a lot of people believe that we live under a patriarchal system. We actually live under a matriarchal one. Plato's cave is a place ruled by darkness, by ignorance, by yin energy, by the female, by the vampire. It's not a place ruled by men. It's not a place ruled by light. Light is yang, darkness is yin. Light is masculine. The Father, Son, S-O-N. The phonetic tell word for Son is S-U-N. The light. The God. And the goddess is darkness. Darkness is not bad. I know the Lakota view the color black as one of the most holiest colors, in existence. Since their view on darkness is not something that they don't see the darkness as being evil. The Lakota. The newer generations are a little different. among the Lakota, but but the ones that are like millennials and older, this is what they say. This is called Lakota Star Knowledge, and so it's there's a balance between the masculine and the feminine, and for and the witches that come out of Lakota society are not and they definitely would not approve of me using the word witch. They call these people medicine men, but to me, my European side is saying it's practically the same thing, and I believe it is. But they say men, it's men that are the witches in Native in Lakota societies. It's the man that carries out the spiritual work and defends the family, hunts for food. The woman, she runs the household. She owns the property. She owns the land. She makes the clothes, makes the food. She helps bring up the family. It's like I think she's like a support thing, but still women are not viewed as inferior. They're viewed as equals, and it's heavily acknowledged, and believed within Lakota societies that man cannot live without a woman and woman cannot live without men, and so there's a balance there, but it's men that carry out the magical ceremonies. It's men who are the medicine men. You never hear of medicine women. It's always men, and it's because men tied to the light, tied to the spirit, and light energy represents the spirit, and that's what the man represents. The woman represents the black sun or the black hole, the womb hole, that helps bring in new stars, new souls, as above so below, into this world, into this universe from another, after death, because I believe reincarnation ties into the multiverse, and the Lakota actually believe in reincarnation too. I know one medicine man that actually believes himself to be one of his past lives, he believes in one of his past lives that he was one of Crazy Horse's right hand men. Lakota Chief Crazy Horse, one of the very well known Lakota chiefs, which I personally believe was a hybrid. But anyways, he was one of the chiefs that fought at the Battle of Little Bighorn against General Custer's last stand. So anyways, but anyways, I also wanted to show you that chicken hawk is also a term called men who love boys. So this goes back to NAMBLA and pedophilia and again chicken is ties into its code for boy, and it's boys and that are the prime target here, because I believe that at those younger ages young people really tie into that light, but as they get older and the system starts to take a toll on these souls, their light starts to die out, and they lose touch of it as they get older, and humanity needs to reconnect with that light again, the light that Zeus, the Greek god Zeus, cut us off from, splitting humanity's soul in two. We only have we only have a connection with the female side of the soul, but we do not have a connection with light. We are third eye blind. We don't see the light. The light is on the astral, the spirit, and it must be realized. You must open up your third eye to where you sense energy, to where you can feel it, to where you can manipulate it, because energy is light. And once you learn that, that's reconnecting with the light. Then you can sustain your soul, sustain your aura, so your soul doesn't feed off your spirit, and then your spirit feed off your body, and then that's how old age happens, and you eventually die. We've been cut off from Brahma's found in the youth, the great spirits found in the youth, the great spirit being Wakatanka, and once you learn how to navigate the waters of consciousness. Once you learn how to drink, and not drowned in the waters. It reminds me of that Joseph Campbell quote. The difference between a schizophrenic and a mystic is that, the mystic, swims, through the waters of consciousness, navigates through it, but the schizophrenic, drowns, and they and that's what, most spiritualists are on this planet, are schizos. They become aware of the fourth dimension or the astral realm. They become aware of the psychic mind and all of that. But since humanity has never really had a fair shot at evolution, utilizing these parts, this part of the mind, we don't know how to use it right. So we end up drinking ourselves to death, or drowning, in the waters of consciousness. I guess you could say, like, getting lost in sauce, I guess, but still, yeah, all this is very fascinating stuff to me, man. And again, the chicken has always been one of the main animals around, almost, throughout the world in many different cultures, as being like the animal to sacrifice. And again, I believe this ties into some sort of reptilian occult, brainwashing subliminal of some sort, to get, societies, hating those who connect to the light the most. So, I understand the trap here being played, and I just, I wanted to share it with you guys, because, maybe some of you, will get what I'm saying here. It's likely that most of you, won't, but still, yeah, fascinating stuff, man.